welcome a young man who made his first mainstream television appearance with us 9 years ago. I thought then this guy's going to go a long way. He certainly has. Will you welcome Frank Skinner?
Too long. Sit down.
There you are. Good old Frank. You brought the fans.
Good old Frank.
As I said, it's been 9 years since you were here.
Yes. Nice.
Backed by public demand.
Yeah, exactly. 9 years. That's incredible, isn't it?
You've got two. It seems to me you've got two main obsessions, right? Women and football. Am I right there?
Yes.
What order?
Well, with both of them, I like to change ends at half time. Dave,
what do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, okay. I think we better stick with football.
Well, yes. let's talk about women. Let's be daring. Let's fly near the edge.
Oh, I can do clean if I have to.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, trust me.
All right, let's talk about what age did you first start dating? First time did you ever sort of, got to know ladies and things?
Well, when I was living in Smethwick at the time, and we were so grubby, you couldn't really tell who was male and who was female, to be honest. But I didn't so much lose my virginity, I sort of mislaid it. You know what I mean?
What age would you be?
I think I'd had half a bottle of Advocaat that I found in the... do you remember Advocaat?
You
buy it. Yeah, you buy it, then you put it in the back of the wine cabinet for 10 years, and then the kids drink it. That's how it worked. So I had a bit of that, and I got a bit excited, and it was... either I was drunk or she was twins, but it was all... It was all very quick, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. But by God, I nearly did.
Let's talk about football. Do you play football? Do you ever play?
I'm very bad. You wouldn't believe it. It's one of the great upsets of my life, how bad I am. We went to Africa for Comic Relief, for a charity football thing, and it was to raise money, and I had to play, and I said I'm rubbish, and they said, no, come and play, and we'll raise funds. There was African people there giving back grain. They said, we're not going to watch this. Keep your food. In case you don't know anything about football, I support a team called West Bromwich Albion, right? And if you know nothing about football, they're top of the Premier League at the moment. So I was leaving the ground, we'd lost, we'd played terribly, and as I was leaving, there was an announcement on the tannoy, and it said, Mr. So-and-so, your wife has given birth to a baby boy in Sandwell District Hospital. And this bloke said to me, he said, oh, the poor devil, he said, he's sat through this rubbish, now he's got to go home and make his own tea.
Tell me about Albury, because you were born in Albury?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in West Bromwich, but I grew up in Albury.
But you won a talent contest when you were a kid around that area, didn't you? Or was it Birmingham?
Well, I won a few.
No. Oh.
Yeah. I won a John Wayne impression competition.
You didn't do it.
I did.
I want to hear it.
Well, I don't do a very good... I
want to hear it.
Okay, I'll do it, but it's not good, I'm warning you.
But it won.
It did, but it was... basically, I went on and said, get off your horse, and I'd won. Because the bloke who came second, all he did, it's his true story again, it was at Samantha's nightclub in Birmingham. He got on stage, he turned around, he dropped his trousers, and he shouted, Birmingham City, Kings of Europe. Now, I've seen most of John Wayne's films. I don't remember that, do you? So I won that very easily.
Apart from John Wayne, what else have you got that would frighten Rory Bremner? Have you got other voices that you do?
What, impressions? I used to do Kenneth Williams. So everyone does Kenneth Williams, and I used to do it fairly ordinary. But then I met this impressionist, and he said the best way to do Kenneth Williams is if you can combine Kenneth Williams with a World War II aeroplane. And if you can put those two together, then you got it made. So that goes. You need a lot of breath for this, but so don't try it at home. And definitely don't try it in the audience. Okay, here we go. Kenneth Williams, World War II aeroplane.
while we've got you back there in those...
Can I do one more impression?
Oh, please. We want another impression.
This is not a famous person. This is... I just love this impression. Right? These are my paws. This is a dog dreaming. Right? Anyone got dogs in the audience? Yes. Yes. A lot of them got them with them, a lot of them. Right, here we go. I met a dog psychiatrist. I told him my dog did that. He said, well, he's dreaming that he's chasing a rabbit. Right? This dog had lived in Smethwick for 10 years. Never seen a rabbit. Maybe on a Bugs Bunny video. That was it. No way that could have happened. Can I tell you a story, by the way? This is because you know that the funniest things are always the true things. I did a gig once at an old people's home in Southend. Right? Is that because you're from Southend or because you're from an old people's home? Do you know Southend at all?
Oh, yeah, the last resort.
They always say if you want to hear the sound of the sea at Southend, all you have to do is hold a shell suit up to your ear. But they were a tough crowd, I'd say, at old age. But they were very... Because they're not... English old age pensioners are a special breed. American ones are, I think... Because that John Glenn, you know him, the American astronaut?
Yeah, of course.
76, he went up in the space shuttle. Now, no British old age pensioner would do that, would they? If they did, it'd be the first time ever an astronaut had got off the space shuttle and said, "Thank you, driver." I did this gig though, and it was 200 old age pensioners, and it's the toughest crowd I've ever. Oh dear! I went on. I said, "Knock, knock," and they wouldn't answer until I showed them some proper form of identification. No, you'll only encourage me.
The talk show. Interesting watching your talk shows. You've got some really unusual guests. I assume you choose them.
Oh, well, yeah, I do choose them. Can I have a drink of this? There's nothing strong in here, is there? No, I never touch a drop now.
Orange juice. It is just orange juice. Who would you say is the ones that surprised you? Any guess that you
well, when I first started, I wasn't very, I wasn't very good, and I didn't read the research and all that. I had George Foreman on, and I asked him why he didn't have the ukulele with him. It was a mix-up, but he didn't. Yeah, I had the duet lined up at the end and everything, but that didn't work. And then this time round, I had Tara Palmer Tomkinson.
Oh yes, yes.
And I don't know...
Was she all right that night?
I think she'd been on the Butterscotch Milkshake. I don't know what she'd be... I'm not very... See, people said to me, oh, she was drunk or she was on something and all this, but I thought that's what posh people are like. Because when posh people get very, you know... you can't... Who knows what they're on or whether they're on anything. And she seemed, I thought... I liked her. And then the next day she went into rehab. She did. It's a true story. I sympathise because I used to drink a lot myself, as you may know. And that didn't help with the women at all.
No.
You know, we used to have these sayings: whiskey makes you frisky, brandy makes you randy. Now, what I needed was a drink that rhymed with totally impotent.
Thanks, Skinner, ladies and gentlemen. Great, man.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
Thanks, Skinner.